Hey, Nukenites! Hwasin versus GuemChi. It's finally here! After months and months of waiting. Well, just a day of waiting. Yeah, I don't like to miss deadline too much, so I still feel bad about it. That's why I'm casting as soon as I wake up. Ugh. Yes, if I sound more monotone and gravelly than usual, it's because I just woke up. So it kind of sounds like the After Hours commentary with LeBron and Barry and $240 worth of pudding. Okay, 2, 1, 0. Like I said, Hwasin versus GuemChi. And here we go. Got a lot to talk about today. Looks like GuemChi's purple, so that means Hwasin's up here at the 10 o'clock position in teal. GuemChi was down at the 5 o'clock position in purple. Yeah, I watched GuemChi's games against Luxury live, which was about a day ago now. More than a day ago, but yes, I watched those games live. And GuemChi is kind of a player that who's had a lot of hype around him at a certain point. I think that hype has kind of died down quite a bit, but at a time, people were saying that he was going to be a great Protoss player. And I kind of agree with I agreed with that at the time, but looking at his games against Luxury, by the way, I'm going to spoil the hell out of them here. But yeah, looking at his games against Luxury, I just wasn't all that impressed with his play. The first game, I was very, very impressed. I was saying, wow, GuemChi's doing great here. He played almost immaculately, took out Luxury, who had to go for a 5-pull. Of course he did. Of course Luxury went for a 5-pull. It seems that all Luxury does these days is cheese, which doesn't even work for him, so I don't even know why he cheeses. But GuemChi, he dealt with it fantastically, only used one cannon to fend the Zerglings off, and he didn't even plop down the cannon inside of his main, so he has very confident play there. But in the second game, he had to pause the game. They had to pause the game, and I think it threw off his rhythm, because he just didn't play as well after that point, even though he ended up taking the series. Luxury is not playing his best right now either, so I think he had the benefit of his opponent playing poorly. I don't think that's going to happen here. Hwasin, he is never afraid to cheese, he's never afraid to do early pushes or anything like that. That's what he did to get up into the last OSL. He went for 2, I think, double barracks marine rushes of some kind against a Zerg player, I forget. But yeah, he's definitely not afraid to do a push of some kind. He's not afraid to be very, very aggressive and get the job done. So GuemChi, hopefully that will not throw off his rhythm if Hwasin should decide to do that. So GuemChi, my advice to GuemChi would be to put on the pressure, to be very, very aggressive with his first Dragoons, and just keep Hwasin inside of his base and defensive, because when Hwasin plays defensive, he's not really that fantastic of a player. I'm not sure how Hwasin keeps getting into round of 16s, actually, because he's a good Terran player, but he's not an amazing Terran player like some players like Flash or Lita or Fantasy. He's definitely not up to that S-class level. But it looks like GuemChi is taking my advice. He's coming out with his first Zealot. Probably going to go out with his first Dragoon as soon as that pops as well, just to put on that pressure. And he might even be able to intercept this SCV. No, he does not. But he is going to come in here with his first Zealot and that Probe. So the Probe and the Zealot fighting together should get some damage done. Because Hwasin, he's still pumping Marines, so that's good for him. He's definitely going to need that to fight off against this early pressure. But here comes GuemChi coming into the base. Hwasin, he can get between the barracks and the supply depot and be pretty safe. So GuemChi deciding it's not really worth it. He went in just to see how many Marines that Hwasin had pumped. But he sees that Hwasin pumped more than 2 Marines, so not really worth putting on the early pressure like that. Another factory coming up for Hwasin, so he is going for a double factory build here. He's going to put on a lot of pressure very early. It's almost standard for Terrans to do this against Protoss these days. Well, all but the S-class Terran players. But yes, Dragoon range is spinning for GuemChi, so he's going to have lots of Dragoons out here soon to deal with the push of any kind, and he's definitely going to need it. Hwasin's still pumping Marines. So he's going to go in with a lot of troops soon. Since he went for double factory, he's pumping more Marines. He's going to get a bunch of vultures and probably a couple tanks out there too. And that's really going to hurt GuemChi here. GuemChi, he sees this now. He sees the number of Marines, and he might get the scout. No, does not get the scout though. But the vision remained there, so maybe he got to see the tank coming down. If he sees that, he's going to know that there's going to be a lot of pressure coming up into this main soon. Oh man, he does have that Dragoon range spinning. He's going to need that to fight back against the Marines. But yeah, Hwasin is preparing for a push, lifting his racks. He could probably use that for vision here soon, building another supply depot. But that's it. He is not expanding at all right now, so I think he's going to put on an early pressure build while GuemChi is going for his expansion. So GuemChi is going to have a hard time fighting this off, but I think he will be able to as long as he's still pumping Dragoons right now. He only has a few Dragoons out. So Hwasin, if he goes in with a bunch of tanks, maybe goes in with some mines. I'm sure he's researching mines as we speak, going out with his first vulture. And probably just to try to intercept another scout, just to keep the scout away from this push that he's going to do. There's a robotics facility coming up for GuemChi. He's going to transition straight to his observatory, I think. GuemChi is prepared at the top here, and I think Hwasin's moving down the map. He's moving out with a couple of tanks. Wow, a lot of tanks, a couple of vultures, and all of his Marines. So he's going to push this. He's going to try to take out this natural expansion. And GuemChi is not pumping troops. Where are GuemChi's troops? He has 3 Dragoons, he has 1 Zealot, and that's it. There's a couple of Dragoons inside the main looking for a drop, but these Dragoons are going to be completely out of position to take on this force from Hwasin. So Hwasin, he's grinding in here with his tank force, and he's going to try to take this high ground and get some mines all over these Dragoons. He does have mine research. He's trying to surround the Dragoons. GuemChi's in big trouble. He can't outrun all of these mines, and the mines coming in, so GuemChi's forced to pull all of his probes off the line to fight this off, but he's losing all of his Dragoons. He didn't pump nearly enough Dragoons to fight this off, so Hwasin, he's going to lose his vultures here. Yeah, he loses both of his vultures, but he still has 1 vulture in to get the mines. Oh, Hwasin takes it already. That's a GG from GuemChi. That was absolutely ridiculous. So Hwasin had no problems with GuemChi whatsoever, and I know that GuemChi is not playing his top form right now, just watching his games against Luxury, but that was ridiculous. Wow. All right, second set. That was anticlimactic.